Housing market experts do predict that home prices will fall later this year. As we all know, later in the summer, around August and September, is usually when home prices fall. And we've already been seeing a downward trend in home prices. Now, at the moment, home prices are still elevated. And on top of that, we have higher interest rates, which has more than double the mortgage payments for an average homeowner. But overall, home prices have gone down comparing the peak of last year to its lowest point this year. But how much lower are experts predicting home prices to fall later this year? And will it actually be affordable for the average consumer because of these higher interest rates? So we're going to look at some different charts, different data points, and read different articles to see how much experts are predicting home prices to fall later this year and what that means for the housing market as a whole and for the average consumer buying a home or even waiting to buy a home later this year. All right, so experts are predicting home prices to fall around 10% this year. According to PNC Bank senior economists, they see a 10% decline in house prices. So the U.S. median home price in March decreased 3.3% year over year to $400,000, according to Redfin, marking an 8% drop from peak pricing in May 2022. So we actually seen an 8% decrease comparing just the peak of the summer of last year and its lowest point so far this year. That's a very good sign that home prices are going down. But once again, mortgage rates have more than doubled. Mortgage rates have gone up 100%. And if home prices are only going down 8%, how does that actually make sense for the average consumer? We do expect the Fed to raise the Fed funds rate by 1/4 percentage point going into the meeting in the next 2 weeks. And so once again, the Fed is going to raise interest rates, will in turn increase mortgage rates, which hopefully will bring the demand for homes down and bring the home prices down. Another expert in the field, Vanguard, expects U.S. home prices to decline 5% during the second half of this year. And that's not a small drop they're seeing. They said, of course, a big wild card for home prices will be inventory. And yes, we do see home prices falling, but I do want to talk about other parts of the housing market in today's video, like talk about inventory and how that affects home prices, and will the inventory levels probably be later down this road. So before we continue on with this video, please be sure just hit that subscribe button, like, and comment down below your thoughts on the housing market. I would love to know what you're thinking about the housing market, if you're thinking about buying a house now or just waiting later or even next year to buy a house. All right, so this is talking about the biggest problem in the housing market, and it says new listings for home sell 22.4% from previous year during the 4 weeks ending April 23rd, right? And a big reason is that not enough homes are for sale because current homeowners are deciding against listing their homes, because why would a homeowner sell their property when it's a lower interest rate and home prices are higher, right? Of course. The NAR found that 1/3 of listings are getting more than one bidder and 28% of homes are still selling above list price. So we still have all of this because inventory levels are so low. Currently, 1/3 of housing inventory is new construction compared to historical norms of a little more than 10%. And so you have this other side of the housing market where there's a lot of new construction being sold because these are the houses on market. And new construction is usually more expensive, so that keeps home prices elevated. And this is where they got the information from, Redfin. I just want to go straight to the source. But let's look at this chart. So first of all, this is medium sale price because we're talking about sale prices. It's still lower than what it was last year. So this is a great sign that even through the month of April, middle of April, home prices are down year over year. So that's a great sign. Even though there's an upward trend, that's because during the spring and summer months, home prices usually rise. But hopefully sometime soon, probably sometime in July, August, we can start seeing a decline in home prices even lower and stay below this black line, which represents 2022. And so let's say we're down around 5% and you're thinking about buying a house in October. So $360,000. So 5% less of that, $18,000 less than that. And so that would be $360,000 minus $18,000, which is $342,000. So that would be better if it's down 5% that Vanguard's predicting. Now, if it's down, let's say 10%, that $360,000 house will now be $36,000 less than that. And so that would be $324,000. So you're seeing an upward trend. Hopefully hopefully we can stay low throughout this year. The other thing I want to mention is this new listings. As we all saw, this is much lower than it was last year in 2021 also. And so this has to go higher than these two bars right here, because in order for home prices to truly fall where it becomes affordable, we have to have higher listing, more amount of listings and different things like that. So if we go actually to active listings, we're actually seeing a downward trend in active listings, where in 2022 we saw an upward trend. In 2021 we saw an upward trend. Let me see 2022 if it was a downward trend. It was relatively steady in 2020 when the pandemic happened, but these inventory levels were in the millions. That's crazy, right? When was the last time we had a million in the housing market? I think the last time was in 2020 of October, right? And so this downward trend is alarming. The lower this gets, the higher home prices stay. And so we need to start seeing this upward trend for sure. And so I don't know if it just needs to be mortgage rates need to get higher. The Fed needs to be way more aggressive with hiking up the interest rates. On top of that, we need to see a slowdown in demand, right? We need to see a slowdown in wage increase so people don't have as much money to put money down on a property, right? We do need a slight crash in order to bring home prices down. But I do believe home prices will be lower than what they were last year, and that's a good thing, but it's just that affordability with the mortgage rates, that's the biggest issue. So hopefully we can stay lower than that. So we'll see what the Fed does. Some experts are thinking that the Fed will actually stop putting up interest rates, but I don't think they should do that, and hopefully they don't do that. I think they need to continue increasing the interest rates, even if it's a modest 25 basis points each time they have their meeting. I think they need to continue throughout the rest of the year to increasing this interest rate. And we never know, maybe other things will affect home prices. Maybe more banking collapse, unfortunately, that will cause less lenders to lend out loans, which will in turn maybe create more fear in homeowners' mind to, hey, hold off on buying a home, and that'll bring demand down, increase supply. There's a lot of different factors that can cause home prices to truly crash. It's not going to be pretty for most of us, but in order to reach affordability, some things like that has to happen. All right, you all, let me know down below your thoughts on home prices. Will home prices fall around 5 to 10% like some experts are predicting? Do you see a bigger home price decline? Or what do you want to see happen in the economy in order for us to reach affordability? I'd like to know down below. Once again, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and comment down below. Talk to y'all later.